Welcome everyone to my channel. Before we get into today's tarot reading, I would like to share with you my latest tarot deck, Tarot Visions. This is a 788 card divination deck with upright and reverse interpretations to help improve your reading skills, but also enhance your intuition with clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and more. Pre-order yours today. First copies will be mailed in October 2022. This is a limited edition deck, so reserve yours while supplies last. Also, you can check out my latest book on how you can attract everything you desire using Law of Attraction. It is a manifestation challenge workbook using the 555 method. Check it out on Amazon, or you could purchase them in my Etsy shop online. Also, if you're interested in journaling or writing down your dreams, I have a collection of notebooks to help you make plans, take notes, and so much more. Check out the links down below. Now, let's get back to our reading.
Hi.
Hello, hi, how are you?
That's nice. Really nice.
Thank you so much. That tarot deck was 3 years in the making, and I finally completed it, and I'm super excited to.
It looks beautiful.
Yes, thank you. It was a lot. It was a collaborative effort. My son rendered some of those 3D pieces. And then, the rest I, photo manipulated and did some Photoshop work. And so, yeah, it took me a long time to do, but it's finally done.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So let's see who is in the chat here. Cam, good morning. Oh, good morning, honey. Shabaka, hello. You get some notifications for today? Yes, yeah, we're late, but welcome in. Great intro. Thank you, Shabaka. Hello, Lisa. Thank you, Cam. So, so before we get into today's topic, let's go ahead and clear our energies. And I'm going to tap my meditation singing bowl to take 3 deep cleansing breaths, and let's get started. All right. So, honey, what do you got today?
We're hanging in there, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Incredible types of energy going on. A lot popping.
It is. The whole reason for the delay was that Sunny and I were having a discussion behind the scenes about this rough week that, kind of like what I had, but I know that Sunny was experiencing similar energies and
weird stuff.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that the collective is going through this as well.
Yes, yes.
So what do you have for us today?
Well, we have a Pisces full moon. Isn't it? It's
tonight.
Exact. I was going to say here. Yes. So 17 degrees, and it's not just the full moon in of itself. This is considered the harvest moon, which can mean literally the harvest of crops, but also the harvesting of manifestations people have worked on, a cleansing of some sort, or culmination of efforts to tie up loose ends. But the moon is also holding hands with the planet Neptune. And that's what gets so sort of what's going on dreamy, foggy. This is a good weekend to just really take it easy. Don't try to be highly productive. You'll just exasperate yourself because late yesterday, Mercury stationed retrograde. So we have a lot of shifts of energy right now. And I believe I addressed this last time, but it's well worth mentioning again that Mercury retrograde literally works like a blind spot in our minds. Mercury rules our mind, how it functions, and how we communicate. So, just like when you're driving a car and they always tell you to check your blind spots, Mercury retrograde manifests as a blind spot in our mind. So, we're not seeing all of the details. We don't have all the information. So it's just a good time to sort of marinate. The Mars Uranus square that we experienced in April is revisiting near the same degree that it did in April. So, however, you were feeling in April, whether it was about a relationship, a job, a family matter, but think about what you were handling around April. And we're touching on that same energy right now. So, whatever it was, you can anticipate similar thoughts, dreams, even the people could come back up. And so, yeah, then we have an aspect to Jupiter. So, we are experiencing an incredible amount of shifts. And we'll get into what it means, relationship, individually wise, momentarily. But I would like to mention something that's pretty phenomenal that I can't recall in all my days anything like it. But in the last couple of weeks, in our world, there have been 3 significant assassinations. The planet Neptune and Chiron and Pluto represent assassinations, as well as the 12th house. So the first was the leader of Al Qaeda, who basically took over where Osama bin Laden ended. He was assassinated. Then a prime minister in China was assassinated, and in Russia, it's some speculation, and this is very Neptunian. A daughter of a highly ranked Russian general got in a car that blew up, and the speculation is whether or not that car bomb, was intended for the general, but his daughter actually died. And then we had Queen Elizabeth die in the last 24 hours. So this is an amazing amount of change in our world internationally. So on a personal level, you may experience people from the past coming back around to deal with. Scorpio Moon shared a really great video I would recommend everyone to watch off of the Louise Hay videos. We'll have to think about what that was called to give to them, but it was basically synchronicities. So, and this is all in the energy of deja vu. Synchronicities, Neptune is very about, what's real, what's fact, what's reality, what's illusion, fantasy. That's what Neptune does. And so it has us swimming subconsciously in, really muddy water. And that's why it's good to not try to be too highly productive, or you'll exasperate yourself if you try to overachieve right now, because this energy is very spiritual. It's really about sitting quietly and just being. Try not to judge where you are, who you're dealing with. Just try to try to find as much calm and peace as you can, because it's very chaotic energies. The solar flares off the sun right now are historic. So again, our electromagnetic, I can't talk tonight. Our electromagnetic energy around our bodies is affected by the electromagnetic energies hitting the earth, whether it's from the sun, planets, satellites, some kind of man-made manipulation. So we are definitely going through a lot of shifts that are going to have us reflecting on things in the past and coming to some sort of terms with them. That video on synchronicities, the interesting part is that I think the spiritual community, one side of it anyway, has always somewhat indicated that synchronicities um, confirm something you think you're manifesting, when in reality it may just be on your soul's level, triggering your emotion about something, and it's just you and you. It has nothing to do with another person. I think in the twin flame journey, we all seek signs, like we want a sign that that's our person, or that, that our feelings are reciprocated, or, what's the future going to hold. And really, synchronicities could possibly mean a sign that triggers something in you to heal, maybe a emotion or something that we like to project on someone else is truly something that we're supposed to be working on within our own emotional body to uh, come to terms with, and not keep fantasizing something that isn't. And so everyone's and I don't mean to trigger anybody by saying that, but my point is everybody's situation is different. There is no blanket answer to soul, flame, split apart, deeply spiritually connected relationships. They are all unique in and of themselves. And we all have free will to determine, if we're going to journey something or not. So I think a lot of what comes up in these deeply soulful occurrences, when you meet someone with a serious vibration or connection to you, that, we want it to think it means something here and now, when truly it could be something being completed from a past life. And that can be, really disappointing, because, we're also taught spiritually to live in the here and now and stay in the present moment. So when you see a sign or numerology or synchronicity, or, seek an online psychic or someone who makes a living at basically, doing readings generically somewhat, then we all want to believe what we want to believe, and not necessarily what is the honest to God truth. And again, I apologize if that triggers anyone. I'm just trying to keep it real and be authentic about,
It's kind of ironic, and I don't mean to cut you out, but
no.
I don't know if I published the Aquarius reading, but it's a trigger reading.
Warning.
Yeah, no, yeah, I didn't publish it yet, but it's on my website. My YouTube channel's already uploaded. I just published it. Basically, the title says "Trigger Warning." This reading is for those who want to get over their ex. Guidance to overcome.
Yeah.
It was a hard reading.
Yeah.
And in that particular reading, I was like, look, a lot of people, they want to claim like the fluffy, lovey-dovey readings. And as you know, I'm not going to give you bullshit. If I see something that isn't for your highest and greatest good, I'm going to talk about it, and I'm not going to just brush over it and say, hey, and make it
Well,
something is not.
and I think that, the twin flame journey is just that. It's a journey within ourselves to unearth any wounds and unhealed emotions from experiences in the past of this life, as well as past lives of things we have carried forward. Neptune is all about the subconscious mind. The full moon is going to bring light to that. It's going to bring secrets out into the light to be illuminated. That square between Mars and Uranus, opposition to Jupiter, these are all deeply spiritual energies that make a soul thrive on finding the truth. They just want the truth. Out of the corner of my eye, I just heard the word I just saw the word forgive. It is about forgiveness. It is challenging to have something trigger you because you see someone or hear something or whatever is specific to your journey that you count as a sign that maybe that's just you and you. Maybe it's just source reflecting to you things that, does it still trigger you? And this energy is also about distinguishing between the ego self and the true self, right? So our ego is an animal. It can be, I heard it once described that, the ego fights very hard to influence us because, it dies a little bit every time you ignore sort of those encouragements like, things that stroke our ego when, you show interest in someone and they show interest back in you, that strokes our ego. There's a series I was watching one time, and this woman on the series was like trying to force this relationship with one of the characters, and she was the only one that thought there was a relationship between them. Him, his friends, they would all almost make fun of him about, she thinks she has a relationship with you. And these are really difficult decisions to, Neptune likes to fantasize and daydream. So, it's really not right or wrong whether you journey a fantasy about someone or daydream about them. But I do think there's a point where you have to have a reality check. And this is the kind of energy that, gives us a reality check of, in the twin flame journey, I think a common theme is there's usually interference of some sort, whether it's another lover or a family member or friends, but there's usually some interference of a third party kind. And not necessarily a love relationship. It could be a work or other responsibility or commitment, but there's always some kind of static or interference. Well, if it's meant to be, it'll be, and 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 the path will present itself to you. But if you are constantly trying to manipulate something the way it feels warm and fuzzy to you, and it's not meant to be for you, that's where our ego gets really distraught and upset. And I think we can all be honest with ourselves that whenever we had a trigger, because I'm not on Facebook anymore, but I hear from other people a lot with their twin flame connections that they'll check out Facebook, or they'll see them with another person, and that's very triggering. So, at what point are you, hurting yourself? This is where self-love comes in. And, I once heard it put, if you go searching for something like that, you're going to find it. I mean, it's almost a self-sabotage kind of energy. It's like, why do we want to keep hurting ourselves? Because if somebody's interested in meeting you for a relationship, you're going to hear from them. You're going to
Right.
see them. You're going to know it. It's not going to be, a maybe tomorrow or a maybe when they finish that. I mean, we don't put our lives on hold waiting for someone to finish their karma with somebody else.
Mhm.
And those are very, very hard emotions to process. But in the midst of it is the ego that doesn't want us happy. You know, the ego is constantly making us second guess ourselves and, um, um, you know, question um, our own inner voice. So our true self is where we want to seek to be. And this energy this weekend is really about laying low, being gentle on ourselves, because there are things from the past that will trigger to, you know, kind of test how far have you healed. You know, does that still trigger you to see him with somebody else? At what point do you accept that they are with someone else and there's someone else for you? But as long as you keep your focus on someone who's unavailable, you kind of keep yourself in this love trap limbo kind of place. And then, you know, there's the whole rabbit hole about, you know, maybe a soul has been hurt and betrayed so many times they're cool by themselves. You know, maybe some souls don't really want to be hooked up with anybody because it's hard to get over a betrayal. It's hard to trust someone to be honest with your heart. And so all of these different um, all these different shifts of energy and placements. And then I don't want to, you know, leave out people who've, you know, met someone very exciting and they're dating and doing very well. You know, that's what we all thrive for, is to meet someone, you know, just on a level playing field, that have the same page, the same goals, the same you know, hopefully a lot of same interests, because ultimately relationships stay together because you're fascinated with the other person and you share like interests. I've always been told, you know, to meet someone, just pursue your hobbies. And because the best way, you know, to meet someone is doing something you already love. And so if you meet someone who's bowling or, you know, playing a sport you like or whatever, then that's something that your relationship has in common. And we have to ask ourselves, you know, why do we spend so much emotional energy with someone that's not spending the same emotional energy as we are? And these are what this full moon is bringing light to the dark secrets, that whether it's the secret we keep from ourselves, admitting that, you know what, he never really was into me, and or she was never really into me, or, you know, I don't like getting into all those pronoun things or whatever, but it's just, you know, be as honest with yourself as you can, and try to recognize that the ego really tries to keep us attached to um, appearances and material things and superficial things. So,
Well, I have like a thing I would like to share. So
yes.
I was mentioning to you the other day that I was cleaning out my stuff and I uncovered a treasure trove of past people that I've been with, and one of them was an ex-boyfriend of mine. He was a really sweet guy. I met him at a bar. Um, yeah, I know, right?
Hopefully there was dancing and drinking and
Well, yeah, there was
flashing
that going
lights and
on,
good
and
music, right?
we were singing karaoke, and
Oh,
it was like love songs. It was country love songs, and that's what
Francesca.
happened. Yeah, this guy was a country guy. Okay, like I
Gotta
don't dig
love the country
country.
ones. Yeah.
I well, yeah, he was a sweet guy. I'm not gonna lie, he was a sweet guy. And let me tell you about this one. So I met this guy. He was really sweet on me, and we kind of like hit it off. You know, we were singing like karaoke, and one thing led to another. And he was like, "Wow, you sing really good." And I was like, "Well, thank you." And you know, we just got to know one another, and that's what happened. But in the course of our relationship, he was so sweet. that he would buy me flowers, fresh flowers, every other day. Like he would send it to me to my office and send me a sweet message, just thinking about you, baby. And he would do the sweetest stuff, like buy me little frog slippers and
Oh,
extra knick-knack stuff, right? Like he would make sure that I was taken care of in my workday. And
thinking about
all
him.
of my office mates were like, oh my God, you know? And then I said, you want some? It's starting to smell like potpourri. So it got to the point where it was too much. And I was talking to one of my bosses, and he's like, wow, you're a very lucky lady. I said, yeah, I'm lucky, all right. Because it was starting to get smothering. At first, it was cute, but later on, it wasn't so great. And
Controlling.
then, well, it wasn't controlling. It's just he was over loving. And it got to the point where one of my friends, they were getting married. And so this was our first chance to go on a vacation or like a little getaway outside of, like going to his house and stuff like that. So I went to my best friend's wedding. I know that sounds so cliche. So I went to my best friend's wedding on Kill Devil Hills, right, in North
Love it.
Carolina. Yeah. So it was supposed to be a good time because me and my friends, he doesn't like socialize with my friends. And that was a good time for him to get to know my friends. But he had different ideas when we went on this trip. So on this trip, the first thing was that it was like a 5-hour drive from where we're at to the east, to the ocean, and he played a bunch of country music, and I'm like, can we play something else? I mean, one or two country love songs is okay, but like a bunch of twang, and okay, so I have a bunch of country friends like back in where I was grown, like my home state, and that was cool, but they went to their country concerts and that was okay, but for me to hear this for 5 hours straight, that was a little too much. So I was like, yeah, I'm having a great time, like, and he was sitting there and just talking to me, and the more and more that we went towards the ocean, the more I got to know him. And I just was saying, like, we're going to my best friend's wedding. This is supposed to be like, I'm so happy for my friend.
Exciting.
I
Yeah.
have a boyfriend, we're going to the beach, and I'm not liking it so
Not
far.
feeling.
But get this, it gets better, okay? So we get to the hotel and we got locked out of the hotel for whatever reason. I don't know how. And oh, it was something about the back door. So with the back door,
Oh,
I don't remember what happened, but he
right.
was like, "Okay, babe, I got this." So he crawled. Oh yeah, it was something like the door was locked or something. So this is what he did. He went out on the balcony, crawled to the neighbor's balcony so that he could get into their place so that he can go through there and then come back around to open the door. And I'm like, okay. Someone was showering at the time, and luckily there was somebody in the room next door. And he was like, hot dang, like, I can't believe I crawled, like, oh my God, totally country and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, this did not happen, right? Like, we were planning this trip and it just went sour. And then later on that evening, my friend was like, come on, let's go out and, we're going to have a bachelor party, because my best friend was a guy. It
Right.
wasn't a girl, it was a guy. And my boyfriend at the time, he just wanted like to serenade and have like a romantic evening out on the balcony. And I'm like, well, these are my friends and we're here for my friend's wedding and he's about to get married. Let's go to the bachelor like party. And he just turned over and he got upset. And I'm like, seriously? So I got the keys to his house. Like that was like one of the things that we shared. So after this wedding trip, as soon as we got home, I knew he was going into work. I got all of my stuff out of his house. I locked the door and I put the key under the rug and I said thanks, but no thanks.
Well, two things come to mind. Anybody who's gone through Alcoholics Anonymous or Children of Alcoholics, one of the things they talk about are red flags when you're dating someone. So one of them is sending them flowers all the time. And it's an indication of somebody that wants to control you. It's not natural for someone you've just met to want to do that. And that's sort of whatever his background was growing up. Maybe he had an alcoholic father or something, but it's a behavior of wanting to control because nothing was in control for them before. And that sort of smothering or keeping it all to himself feeling, is not healthy. And so you did exactly the right thing. And we live and learn. And that's some kind of the things we learn in our youth about dating and what works for us and what doesn't. Another one that I have had plenty of readings for with mainly women about, going to bed with somebody too soon or thinking that going to bed with somebody right off the bat determines whether or not it'll be a good relationship. When in fact, if you get to know somebody a while and observe, how do they treat the waitress when you go out to dinner? Observe how do they treat, their friends and family. You might end up turned off and not want to sleep with them to begin with. And you save yourself some grief because when we do share ourselves intimately, we are taking on their energy. And I had a Tai Chi teacher for many, many years, and she got very resentful because her husband cheated on her, and she was just a really bitter woman. And she would always go off about, when you're in a relationship and someone goes and sleeps with other people, well, then when you sleep with them, you're sleeping with those people too.
Right.
It's just this on and on and on about energy. Well, our atmosphere and lives have shifted a lot in the decades. So these are things that we didn't know any better, or that's what we thought we all wanted was a great lover and the rest would come. But the bottom line is when you're really looking for a genuine commitment life partner, first off, you got to have stuff in common that you like to do.
Make sure you go on a vacation with them too. Like that is, I've learned that a long time ago. Don't marry anybody if you haven't gone on a trip with them. Because you're gonna learn all kinds of stuff about that person.
Yeah, and they might be a germaphobe, and you're not, or something, you just never know. But I think it's very natural what we all go through in our youth about these things and learning what works for us and what doesn't. And this energy that we're in right now may bring some of those things from the past up, maybe challenges about, it's hard being alone. It's hard not having a life partner. We all, probably in the bottom of our hearts somewhere where we've, bricked it up behind a wall, really do want a companion that we can, share things with. I know my ex-husband was no great guy in the end. I fantasized the whole time with him that he was someone he was not. And unfortunately, at some aspect in the sky, realized that he was a hound dog. He had cheated on me multiple times and I was naive to not see that, but I didn't want to see it. I wanted to see my soulmate and my life partner, and that was not reality. And that's kind of the energy we're in right now is fact or fiction, whatever situation you want to apply it to, whether it's a personal romantic relationship, whether it's a work situation or or a project you're working on for yourself as a vocation, whatever you're most consumed about right now, these are the energies about, allow the full moon to shine the light on the dark, right? To expose those buried secrets and those buried, things we really don't want to face. But this is the time we're going to face them whether we want to or not. And so it's better, in my opinion, to be somewhat prepared, and that means doing your meditation, doing your journaling, light exercise, good diet, just the basics to try to keep your energy and chemistry and general attitude about life or disposition somewhat, level and not get too extreme either way. I can watch, I guess disposition is different for everyone. This is the kind of energy with Mars square Uranus where people can pipe off really quick, right? Their temper is on edge. Their nerves are just, below the surface of their skin. And if you don't practice sort of being aware of this chaotic energy we're in and making a conscious effort to stay calm, watch your mind. Like if you start feeling, I'm trying to think, I had an incident where, it was a big test for me to just try to blow it off, keep cool. It's not the end of the world, but I had been extended an invitation for a charge card at one of these stores. And by using it, you could earn money off of your gas. So, I mean, that's a huge promotion. That's a great marketing thing, right? Well, their freaking card doesn't work at their dinosaur pumps because their gas pumps don't even take chip cards, right? So they send me a chip card. And, the little guy in the hut who's supposed to help you with pumping gas if you have trouble had this very smug attitude, like, oh yeah, well, it just doesn't work. I'm like, doesn't work? I didn't go seeking this. You invited to give it to me. It's enhancing to change to save money for gas and everything like that, and it doesn't work.
Right.
That's all you're going to say. And man, I could feel the blood coming up in me. Like I was just mad as hell about, lure me in, to a credit card and then not give me that benefit of the cheaper gas. Are you crazy? I mean, I was just getting really bent out of shape. I called the 800 number. I waited forever. I'm driving down the road and I'm just in my head, and I get this really nice guy on the phone and I just started straight out. I said, it's not you, but I am really provoked by this. And there was part of my mind questioning, why am I so upset? Really, what is beneath that?
Well, the root problem was that you were given an incentive and you were all for it. And then when you didn't get what you were proposed, then that's what teed you off.
The old bait and switch thing.
Yeah, that
so
would
the guy on the
me off
phone,
too. Like
he was really nice, and he was like, well, we can't have that.
Well, this is the thing. So I have a story for you. This is the same thing with Comcast. Okay, you can get a $650 rebate if you sign up to their business class internet. And I'm like, $650? Okay. Right. So I called him. I said, well, can I get this $650? Well, since you're already a customer, I says, well, my contract is over.
Right.
So if my contract is over, then I'm basically a new customer. I'm renewing, right, with a new service. And they're like, well, it works for new people. I'm like, bullshit. But you know what? There was another one where you can save up to $450 if you switch over to a mobile like service with Comcast.
Right.
I said, okay. I said, I did that. I didn't get the rebate. Like, I was back and forth. I stopped talking to the dude, the sales guy. I just started emailing. So I have a paper trail I was like, this is taking up way too much of my time, because who has time to sit? Because I
Exactly.
got stuff to do.
They're
I mean, yeah,
banking
you're
on
getting
you won't
paid to
take
do
your
your
time.
thing, but what about my time? Okay, like my time's important. So yeah, so they brought my bill down, but it's still not that $450 rebate that they were proposing, which is a ripoff. So is there anything in the stars where there's a lot of ripoffs that are going on?
Well, I mean, Neptune is it spins its magic wand to
Oh, it's an
Mercury
illusion.
retrograde. We don't see everything, it's just sort of this big fog. And, this really nice guy really genuinely seemed like he wanted to help. And then after 20 minutes of him going on and on, he goes, well, let me transfer you to somebody that I think can fix this. And I was on hold forever. I hung up and I'm not addressing it anymore. And what it really triggered was, why did I get so upset about that? It probably stems back to lack, a fear I won't have the money for gas. There, it's so much deeper than the surface thing itself.
For me, it was okay. I was telling you, I was going back years upon years
Yeah.
because I'm a paper hoarder, and the thing that I was shredding up the most was my internet bill.
Oh,
Even back in 2008, I was spending anywhere from $500 to $1,000 on internet service and phone calls. That's a business. I'm
right.
starting to think like I need to invest into like
Cable.
internet, phone, stuff that people need on a daily basis, because even from then up until now, it's the same. And
Right.
it's a lot. That shit don't go away. Like, I'm indebted to internet and this technology that we got going on.
Yeah,
So
it's very frustrating that they sort of keep us, hamstrung to need it and use it, and then it becomes a monopoly that costs all of this money. So
just like the energy crisis over in Germany, right?
whatever the manipulation, remember when the smart houses started getting advertised, where from your phone you could check out what's in your freezer and refrigerator, and it would create your grocery list so you knew what you were going to have for dinner. And your home basically was a computer that could run your life. You could turn on and off your lights from remote or whatever. Well, the same technology that does that also allows those governing entities to completely cut you off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like this puff campaign, like, look how convenient we can make your life and what we can do for you. And one of the, if not the largest data internet provider in the world, was a client where I used to work. And what they called their data center was an armor plated unicorn, an armor plated unicorn, an armor plated energy unicorn with a cloak of invisibility. So that to me says they have a whole lot of power and control over a whole lot more than just providing us internet service. And
Mm-hmm.
these power grids, what they ultimately are fearing is that the Tesla energy that was put a kibosh on, at the turn of the 19th century, will ultimately be made available to the public at large, which I believe it will. I believe with the Uranus and Taurus, everything banking, agricultural, and the ways we've been doing things are ready for a revolution and an evolution and a new way of doing traditional things. And so we're in a really cool time in our society when you think about it, because AI, there's a software, it's like called Dooley or something, where they merge AI with other images and they produce, these really lifelike images. And, you know, I guess initially that technology may have been fascinating, Neptune, unbelievable fantasy, but then it turns sour, right? Because there's a diabolical side. And that's, I write in my blog this month about duality, you know, the light, the dark, love, hate, you know, opposites are just varying degrees of the same whole. And that's really, and our ego distinguishes really how captured our emotions are going to get over a given thing. So if we practice our heightened consciousness, which is what Neptune wants us to do with dream work and intentional work about retrieving information from our dreams. I wouldn't be surprised if the audience has been experiencing, you know, seeing people from their past in the dreams. My parents have been deceased like 22 and 26 years, respectively, between my mom and dad. My brother's been gone about 20 years. Well, just in the last week or so, I've had every single one of them in a dream, very realistic, like I was talking to them. So, um, dream work is really where I think we need to focus our energy right now, because we're in these sort of uncharted waters that we're attached to some kind of 3D grid or matrix, and our world is evolving to another dimension. And we can decide that we're either going to stay attached to the matrix, or we're going to evolve with this technology, and we determine what we want or not, whether we want the smart homes, whether we want to speak to AI on a phone instead of a live human being. And, you know, it's a real crisis in society when you talk about the jobs that have already disappeared and continue to disappear because they've been taken over by robots or AI. So this is all about what the times we're in with Uranus and Taurus, the Pluto Saturn conjunction that, you know, will still be with us through 2023. And really it comes down to you decide what you're willing to do and not do, and don't be afraid to speak up. And these are other things going on right now, I believe, for us in a spiritual community, where maybe in the past we've kept our spirituality or esoteric or metaphysical observations and experiences and knowledge somewhat on the down low to, say, 3D people or people we know would either freak out or not understand. These are times when we're here to be the teachers. We're here to lead basically unawakened people to the possibility of there's more than the 3D grid where you plug in and be a slave to some diabolical system that only benefits a few, you know. And there's all these paradoxes about, you know, they'll talk about what's best for humanity and, you know, the climate change and the energy, da da da. No, when you follow the money, this is making a very few people very wealthy and leaving the rest of us, you know, it's very interesting. And I've noticed this week myself for the last couple of days that in fact, my neighbor said something to me this morning. I think I'm frustrated, and I'm not going to really touch on this because it's probably a touchy subject, but I'm frustrated about how the Queen's death is being covered. And I probably have 180-degree opposite opinion about what she's manipulated with the Bank of London and currency, right? But when you watch this display going on, and try to watch it very detached, because it's really weird. And so my neighbor just, when my point is, I've been speaking up more about otherworldly things, and consider other species amongst us. Consider the possibility of, this is not all that it is. And do not accept what some propaganda tries to shove down your throat that just makes you scared and miserable, right? Don't feed into that story. And my neighbor was like, well, you have a very creative imagination. Well, thank God I do. More of us need to have more creative imaginations. We are not robots. We are not here to just trudge through our lives and struggle from point A. We are organic, creative, um, amazing mechanisms, right? We are
Mhm.
far beyond something man-made like an AI robot. And
Mhm.
so,
Yeah, because there's like a debate whether AI is sentient or not.
right.
Oh.
Uh, I think it's just something that gives me a negative feeling in the pit of my stomach. And I trust my pit of my stomach above anything I ever see or hear.
Mm.
And that's what we all need to get used to doing, is checking in with our true self about, does that feel right? Is that person right for me? Someone that gets too smothery too soon is an indication of someone that likes to control. And we all are starved for affection and want attention and want to be needed and loved, but not at the expense of getting involved with an alcoholic or not. I saw narcissist in the chat here a minute ago, and it's about patience, right? We have to learn to be patient, to be willing to somewhat methodically have an evaluation. Long time ago, I can remember the terminology, women looking for the man, or men looking for the woman who ticked all their boxes, like a checklist of that partner and
Mhm.
all the qualities they needed to have. Well, that just boxes us in and eliminates a lot from our life. Is that really, we really just have intimacy problems and don't want anyone to get behind that wall because we've been hurt or destroyed, or there's something in the chat room here we might want to eliminate.
Who are you talking about? Tarot?
Yeah, we're not talking about witchcraft or anything like that. So
Bye bye. No,
there you go. So,
but where's Shabaka? Girl, you slacking.
yeah. So just to finish a little more about the Pisces full moon, Pisces rules the feet and the body. And so Louise Hay's work on You Can Heal Your Life associated the emotion to feet problems with not being able to move forward, and not understanding other people well. And sometimes I think we all spend our wheels too much trying to understand someone else instead of just let them be, no judgment. What do we need to do to help ourselves achieve our goals, achieve inner happiness? And so, um, things like gout or whatever, the most logical thing to try to get more in your diet to help with that is celery.
Oh,
Um,
I need to tell my daddy that he has gout. Sorry.
well, gout is all about uric acid. So it's
Mhm.
about, neutralizing that uric acid. So, staying away from beans and legumes of any kind, fried foods, which I wouldn't think your dad probably eats much fried food, but anything kind of greasy is bad for gout.
Mostly it's meat,
Hmm.
so
So,
meat's good.
wild yam, like yams and sweet potatoes are natural food to integrate more. You could like bake. How about baking a sweet potato and chopping up celery on it? I wonder how that would taste.
He might be open to it. I mean,
I'm just kidding right there. I mean, those are two things that do help it, but it's like, I wonder what that would taste like together. I really
I
like,
mean, he'll eat it. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know about the celery, but yams or sweet potatoes, yeah,
yeah.
he'll eat that.
Germander is another herb, kind of harder to come by, but so also some of the crystals that are associated with Pisces, I think, probably the birthstone you'd see in the jewelry store is aquamarine. Aquamarine is a really interesting stone to me because, I don't know, 30 years ago, it was considered kind of a really cheap stone, and now it's very, very expensive. So I don't know if it's becoming more rare, or they found new veins of it that are more impressive, but um, calcite is easily available, moonstone. Um, and so in prior in prior talks like this, I would say put all your crystals out under the full moonlight. And the more and more that I question what is real in terms of, is the moon itself a manipulation? Um, I don't know if it does any good or not. I think maybe psychologically there is an effect, and maybe a lot of this energy we're in is about our own psychology. How are we treating our brains since COVID lockdowns, right? That isolated people, it depressed a lot of people, it really did a number on our psyche. So here we are coming out into the light. This is a harvest moon, which is about completion. It can, that can manifest on your psyche level. People who want to be more aware psychically and use their intuition. This is a great opportunity to, make that an intention. Like when
Mhm.
you're going to sleep at night or throughout your day. I mean, just tell yourself, I want to practice having better intuition. I want to be more intuitive. And these are the energies that will bring, walk-ins from some other plane, time traveling, remote viewing. So we're
I have all
really,
that stuff here.
yeah, we do. Exactly. And so if we go back to first of the year and looking at what this 2022 was going to mean, we are getting to the peak of this intensive kind of metaphysical energy.
Mhm.
And, questioning all your beliefs is healthy. Don't believe everything you hear or see is healthy. We're all, I feel, being triggered or signaled to reflect inside in our own heart and conscious mind about, well, say something presents itself. Say you meet someone, right? And they remind you of someone else, or, yeah, they remind you of somebody else. So that doesn't necessarily mean you're supposed to be with that person, but what are the emotions that come up for you to um, be real about, be honest with yourself about? It can be upsetting, just like in my confession of, I thought I married my soulmate, and I was, obviously under some Neptune Venus opposition where I saw him very differently than how he really was. And
Mhm.
and these are those energies, and we need to embrace that. We need to seek to be the truth and to be our true self. Um, and I will tell you, with that Mars Uranus square, you could physically shake. I know, when was it? This is Friday. It was Tuesday. I was just going through the day, and I just kept feeling shaky. And that's what I wrote it off to, is a Uranus square with Mars. That's shaky. That is,
Yeah, Tuesday was the day after the holiday, wasn't it?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a rough day too.
Well, and a lot of car accidents, sudden, taking your attention off of, driving, and you end up in a car accident. And around here, an awful lot of people consistently complaining about internet connections, going down, computers freezing. So, very interesting times about, are we manipulated by some other race with energy, and we're ascending to another dimension? Is the sun and its intensified solar flares more is it natural, and is that what's affecting energy, electricity, and how it runs to run our lamps and our computers and things that we take for granted?
I wonder how can we generate energy? I need to go back and school myself on how electricity is formed and how
Well,
we can convert that into like the use that we have to power
well,
our
with
home.
Tesla, his work was basically, there's a natural energy here on this planet that we interact with, and it doesn't get transited with wires. This has all been to make a lot of money for a select few, but
Mhm.
we all have the capability to have free energy.
Mhm.
And so if you were going to research that, and I wish I remembered more what I did, something about Henry Ford when he started developing the first car, Tesla's findings and how he was able to show energy could be free got squelched. And so this is another thing coming back from the past, is people looking into just what you just said.
Mhm.
Solar power is fine. It's not the total answer. It certainly is a supplement. Um, electric cars are fine, but you're not going to run huge bulldozers and land developing equipment on anything other than diesel yet. Maybe
Right.
technology will come, but these are times about fact and uh, fantasy, and we've got to get down to really what is real, so that we can be prepared for these new evolutions of systems that are very positive. I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but around here, there's been a lot of tests of the energy alert systems. And there's a difference between energy, emergency broadcast systems and emergency alert systems. So broadcast is about something like impending nuclear attack. I mean, it's a broadcast, it's a um, level 1 emergency, and you're told to, probably go home and seek shelter. Like, some of us remember the days in grade school where they would do, nuclear tests, and you were told to, get under your desk at school for this test. Alert systems are about weather alerts, tornadoes, hurricanes, flash flooding. So around here, through the radio and cell phones and TVs, several of us have been experiencing these tests. We've gone years without those tests. Does that mean there's something impending? I don't know. There's still a lot of military airplanes planes that flow every day and low. I'm just outside of Washington, D.C. There's definitely weird stuff uh, going on there. So when you take a look at globally what's happening and then you apply it to personally what's going on in your life, it's similar. Things from the past come up again to process. Um, I think in the twin flame journey, it's things come up for us to forgive and find peace with. If that person that you were crazy about and they went with someone else and you felt horrible and betrayed, at some point we have to let that energy go. That energy does not serve us, right? And it does keep from evolving to, a partner who would be um, our a great friend and partner. And so, as far as what to do over the next couple of weeks, it is about somewhat reserving your output of energy, because these are very exasperating aspects between the planets. So if you're feeling real, like gung ho that I got to get X, Y, and Z done off of my list, you're going to just drain yourself and feel defeated, because this is more of an energy of be in the moment, be at peace and as calm as you can. And if you're not, if you've been
That's
drinking too
why
much,
I've been shredding up paper. That's
yeah,
kind of
that's
therapeutic.
well, it's so weird. I actually worked one night recently till 4:45 in the morning. I'm getting a lot of therapy through photographing items for my shop.
Mhm.
I'm getting a lot of therapy. Time just flies. It's like I'm really into it. I want to get things cleaned out. I want to move things on. Uh, you know, all my life, I've basically tried to get rid of things that have negative memories. So everything that I'm bringing forth usually has some really fun trip or fun memory or something special, and that gives me a good feeling, right?
I can't remember. Did you recover that ring from that island of
Yes.
Cross or whatever? Cross?
Patmos. Yeah, didn't I show it to you? I showed it to you one. I got it
Yeah,
out one
because
night.
okay, I was just remembering that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, I think all of us, and that feeling of decluttering and clearing our space is also about nesting, right?
Mhm.
So we all have to feel like a sense of grounding and security while the world is shifting and changing about how are we going to get our energy, how are we going to correspond our currency. If you've been watching Iraq, there's some very interesting things going on with the dinar and them seating a new government. The Queen's death, these have all been um, prophesized as triggers for the Great Awakening, for us to finally see the light on. I get this image of the Wizard of Oz, and you've got this little guy behind the curtain manifesting this huge evil wizard guy, you know what I mean? And all he is this little guy, you know,
A little
pulling
dude.
levers and pulling ropes. And, so it's like a falseness that we have been living with for decades. I
Mhm.
would say probably back to the Civil War in the United States, as far as manipulation of currency and what we have believed is the system. And these are days and times for our history to reflect a evolution. That's what Uranus, Pluto, Saturn, these outer planets that have been making historic aspects that we've never lived under before. It only makes sense that we're going to see and do things that we've never done before. We are in history making times, which is really exciting. But, not to get too extreme on any emotion about it. Um, I want to say back in the 80s, oh, I remember now. It was remember when the Mayan calendar said the world was going to end in 2012 because of
Mhm.
how their alignment of all these planets were. So, I hooked up with my ex-husband in the 80s, and we actually studied astrology together, which, that was the hook for me. Was, wow, he's not calling me crazy and making fun of me for this interest of mine. But he would go to the classes with me, and we did charts together. And so that at that time, it was like, the world may end in 2012. Well, in 1983, 84, that seemed like forever away, right?
Mhm.
That was like, wow, we've only got a short period of time, to live. And if the world's going to end, we want to be together. It was this big romantic sort of epic, drama, and it did drive the relationship to a marriage. It was like, you've got to be with someone for the end of the world, right? And look at
Mhm.
how it all played out. I mean, it really was more on a subconscious level of humanity. It was on a technological level with the evolution of computers. And my point is that right now we were where we might be feeling like there's a nuclear threat or countries attacking each other or whatever. Just keep in mind that every generation deals with these fears. Every generation has navigated the stock market crash or revaluation of currency. These are not new concepts. It's just for us in these days, there are some added elements that have to do with bringing the truth forward, to shedding the light on secrets and mysteries that have been hidden, secret societies, and what that's really all about, and keeping time, what Shubaka is bringing up about different calendars and who decided how to count the days anyway. And
Mhm.
what is time? In astrology world, there's no time. There, there's no time and space. That is a product of our linear mind.
Right. I think that's a product of our 3D reality.
Right. And we're driven by, what time it is, what time it is. I'm running out of time. And that would be my best message to everyone in this energy with the full moon conjunct Jupiter. I mean, I'm sorry, conjunct Neptune with a triggered Mars Uranus square that is familiar degree of what was back in the spring. And what Jupiter is up to. So these are the energies of, use your spiritual practices with intention, right? Don't just say, well, I'm going to start a dream journal, actually do that. And when you go to sleep at night, um, uh, have the intention of a question. What is it you want to find out from your subconscious mind? And so I'm excited to see all these changes. I think the thing that all of us need to be more aware about is there's a lot of fear out there with unawakened people. We are empaths that tend to absorb other people's energy, and we have to be aware of when we're feeling anxiety or feeling fear, where's that really coming from? Because it's not our natural state. And Pisces, in like a typical zodiac interpretation, is they are the psychic sponge. That's what drives them to drink a lot because, and I didn't mean they all drink a lot. I mean, a lot of them will drink
Right.
because they feel everything. And so the drug or the addiction anesthetizes emotions they don't know how to process.
Mhm.
I guess one of my favorite Pisces people in all the world was my dad. And pretty traditional, guy, worked, supported family, all of that, but he was really emotionally shut down. And he would come in from his corporate 9 to 5 job every evening and pour bourbon on ice and sit quietly in his chair and watch TV and go to bed and do it all over the next day. And he did that for decades. Well, I guess it was after he retired and he was more around the house. My brother um, walked past his bedroom one day to see him. I don't know why I'm telling this story, but I'm going to go with it. See him cleaning off a gun and saying, I'd do anything for my kids. My father never felt like he prepared enough for his kids or did enough, like for when he was gone, like what he could leave them or whatever. And my brother told our mom, and she reached out to a nurse friend. And the short story is we had a green warrant intervention because my father was feeling suicidal. So what came of that is that his blood pressure medicine that he was on was creating chronic depression. He went into a hospital for a couple of weeks, and what came out of that were all these war stories. He was a World War II veteran, and he was a flight navigator for B-17s. And so where that all sounds, oh, Dad, tell me all your war stories. My father never wanted to talk about it.
Mhm.
And when he went into that hospitalization, which Pisces is, might be why I'm talking about this, is all about being institutionalized or being in a hospital or dealing with addictions, and he was definitely those young men in the 40s at 18 or 19 years old, when they got leave from their platoon or whatever for a weekend, they were given a fifth of liquor and a carton of cigarettes. So, I mean, it was just, promoted that that's what they did. And there was nothing wrong with it. It was part of the whole, social thing. And so
Mhm.
they come home from war and can't find jobs and, addicted to drinking and smoking and everything. And a lot of them were affected by that. And he was. And when he went to a hospital and basically dried out and had some counseling, all these war stories came out. And, his buddies getting killed. And so when he was finally home and, I just wanted desperately to help him feel better or know how to be with him, but not any pressure to say or talk about things that upset him. But he said this to me, and I guess this is why I'm telling this story is, we were young and thousands of miles away from home, never knowing if we would ever see home. We'd be up in these planes and all you would smell was gasoline and smoke. There was nothing glorious about it. There was nothing heroic about it. And so that's that fantasy reality duality again. Like, we think that that's somewhat, or have, I'm not saying now, but over the course of history, like that's heroic to go off and fight these wars and fly these planes, when really the reality of it is it's horrible. And so when those people, women too, bury all those emotions, the alcohol helps keep it buried, right? They don't have to deal with the hurt and the pain and the fear. So this energy is about, don't fear that your, life that's been driven by a clock that's really not real. When all of that sort of feels like it's a rug pulled out from under you, that you're ascending, you're detaching from the matrix. You're here to thrive and love and be a light giver and to help others see this dark cloud of fear as an illusion, because it is. But we have all been the fabric of these narratives about,
Well, I'll
they,
share something off topic, and
sure,
it's a little
I
lighter
was
than
done. That was enough.
what you
I
were
hope you
talking
made my
about, but
point about a Pisces father and, like how they can be. So anyway,
no, this is something totally different.
okay, we need something totally different.
Yeah, so I went to Safeway, which is like a grocery chain in my area, and I went to go get a tomato. Okay, and you know how I feel about tomatoes, right? So I
Yeah,
got an organic tomato. It's a really small one. That thing was like $1.64
oh,
for a
right.
small tomato.
Well, and going a little further, don't you think that the uh, more I hate using that word unawakened, but the more 3D people have to see something and feel something so absurd before they look around and go, wait a minute, that's not right. Finally
It's
stand up.
not right. I need a plot of land. I'm gonna grow my own damn tomatoes. That's what's making me want to do.
Yeah, put a little fruit stand out on the road. Yeah,
No, I need to grow my own food. And then there was something interesting that I was watching. And I just caught a little glimmer of it, but basically it was like some chess player girls on a podcast I was watching. But anyways, the girl was talking about she was gluten sensitive,
right.
and you know she kind of steers away from like carb type products. So, but she went to Italy, which is carbolicious, right?
Yeah,
And she is a person who is gluten sensitive, so she had no choice but to eat whatever she was eating in a different location. But she did mention that eating the food in Italy was actually different
I'm
compared to
sure.
food in the United States,
Yeah,
which kind of like is another flag, if you will, that the
right,
food in the United States is not what we think it is.
right, right. You're right. And I think more and more people are being, these prices have to get people's attention. At some point, the majority of people have to stand up and say, this is not right. This is not how we're meant to live. What are you going to do about it? So, on a
Mhm.
local level, let's see, one of the websites, what is that website about on your local like sheriff and school boards? They have to hold bonds to hold those offices, right? Bondstowin.com. That gives you a lot of information about in your community, and internationally there's probably different titles for what a sheriff is or how those government local boards are. But the bottom line is, you know, they get in there and follow their own agenda that has nothing positive to do with citizenship. And that bondstowin.com has had success in this country anyway of eliminating some of these people in office by virtue of they don't have a bond. And even to hold that office, they're supposed to get bonds to ensure that they're going to not steal the money or, go against the law. But a lot of them don't even know they need a bond. And if you do discover in your local community that these different officials are not bonded, they're terminated immediately. I mean, they cannot hold that office. And so that getting the people uh, to come clean. I think that's what we're kind of going through, and it's very uncomfortable because it's change, and everybody kind of deals with change differently. But I
Mhm.
see the Pisces energy as a way to make it easier to deal with because it gives that sort of dreamy fantasy element to it so that, you know, you don't feel your footing really. And when you're going through things that are you don't really see beyond, 10 feet in front of you, it's kind of good, to have that sort of fantasy, um, fuzzy feeling. You're in the fog. All you have to go on is your faith and your own instinct. And I'm not so sure that it's very calculated that way for people to learn more about what is your instinct? What is your, I've always taught and felt that, when somebody says, well, I hear all kinds of voices, I don't know what my intuition or psychic is. I've always said it's your first voice. And the reason that's difficult is because sometimes that's not what you want to hear, and so then we go through this process of elimination and doubt and then trying to negotiate with
Like,
ourselves.
no, that's not it. No,
Yeah,
let me just
right.
do
Oh,
it
no, I don't
again.
want that option. We got to come up with another one. But if you really think the simplest example would be your food menu at a restaurant, right? You're overwhelmed by all these choices, and they always say most people go back to whatever their first choice was. It's the same way in psychic ability and um, this is a big energy about manifesting. So if you feel confused or angry or just exasperated because nothing's really clear, that's when, you watch your mind about what your words are saying to yourself, because these are energies that'll manifest what you say. So you want to be only saying positive, good goals and things. I am abundant. My family and my friends are abundant. Even if you don't believe it,
Right, just keep doing it. And
just
that's
speak it.
very,
Yeah.
very similar to that 555 manifestation challenge workbook. Like, even after you do it for a period of 5 days and you don't manifest the thing that you were really like focused on, it's okay.
Yeah.
You just keep trying. That's the whole thing about it. You have to program yourself to, okay, things are going to be okay. Things are wonderful. And you have to, I guess, fake it to make it, right?
And I
And
think it helps too to stay very present. Like
yeah,
I'm
it
okay
is.
right now. And it's when you start worrying about, weeks from now or whatever, that the anxiety builds, because,
Mhm.
you know, we're in times right now where, everything's shifting. So practicing being grounded and staying in the moment and recognizing and being grateful for where you are right now, because ultimately um, that is what we're here to do, is to herald in an ascended, evolved humanity, to be more peaceful, to be more loving. And we've been through 1,000 years of wars and bloodshed and control. And so, yeah, it is going to be an adjustment. And that's why I think some of these absurd events have to take place to get people's attention that this isn't right, you
Mhm.
know. And I'm very excited about, especially as we get into October and the end of the year, these energies that have been sort of mounting throughout the year. We're kind of getting to the head of it all. We're getting to the intense peak of it all, and just being aware of things from the past. I'll share something just that happened a couple of hours ago that's kind of weird. Um, I did a job interview sort of back in that time period. And it was so weird what happened today. The outcome of the interview was, two of the partners were all on board, and two of the partners were like, we don't want to hire anybody right now. And I'll be honest, I was disappointed because it seemed like something I would have been comfortable with and liked. But you got to let it go, right? You move on. It's not for you. You just keep trucking and try to figure out what is for you.
Mhm.
Well, today, it's kind of just not a total stranger, but just a real distant acquaintance. Um, I ran into her and she was like, hey, don't you, do like real estate work or whatever? And I was like, well, I've been doing it, but with the recession, I'm having a hard time finding work. And she says, well, my best friend is this here, and they're looking for someone, and I want you to call them. Well, it was the people I interviewed with. So that's something, how I'm trying to describe this kind
You
of
mean
energy.
those two ladies?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Uh,
somebody else.
but my point is that things that may have happened a few months ago are coming up now. And you have the option of tying up the loose end, doing a tango with it again, come to peace or forgiveness with it, whatever the situation was.
So, what do you think about it? Did you get enough
I'm
time?
gonna marinate over the weekend, because I'm like, I really want to call the HR lady and say, hey, your best friend told me to call you. Are you ready to hire me now? That's my first instinct. And then it's like,
Yeah, because she's still looking, right?
yeah.
So,
So it could be a myriad of reasons, but anyway, that's my point is, a guy or a girl that you had some interaction with back then, you may run into them unexpectedly. So this is the energy we're in with Mercury retrograde through the first part of October. This very intense harvest Pisces moon, holding hands with Neptune, and that same degree of Mars Uranus being touched back to as it was in the spring. And I just want to encourage people to get excited. Be excited about wherever you are on your path. You might seem like things don't work out, or you're not where you want to be. The key too to manifesting is give gratitude for right where you are, embrace where you are. If you have to do with less, find a way to be, be happy with that. I feel sort of challenged to try and, make a dollar stretch as far as it can. And also recognizing that, there's a lot I can do without. But not getting fearful of it. A spiritual mindset is about, you always have what you need. The people in your life are who are supposed to be in the twin flame journey. If you're supposed to be with that person, all the interference in the world can't hold that back. You'll be with that person. But the agony or the worrying or trying to make it happen any faster, all of that is the ego. So we're into this whole period of, just like from our Virgo full moon, separating the chaff from the wheat. We're getting efficient. We're getting, down to
get it done.
Mhm.
But then again, like this Pisces full moon's making it's like, now just this weekend, just take a break.
You know what I did last night? I got them right
What?
here. I don't know if Groupon is everywhere,
Oh, okay, yeah,
but Groupon, for me, we're running all these specials, like a $28 facial. I think this is like a what is this? This is like maybe a $40 massage. Do you get the theme going here? And then this one is it was the same Groupon I did before with the salt cave, at a
Oh, okay.
flotation zone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see what I'm talking about, it's like really just pamper your body and your mind and your soul. Don't exasperate yourself trying to, you
Get
know,
it done.
yeah, I mean, you're just going to spin your wheels. And that's a lot of this energy is a spinning the wheel. And whenever
So
that,
don't fight it, just take a break.
yeah,
It's okay because that it's the very same thing where, I was planning on getting my pug on the
right,
16th, and then stuff happened and there was a delay. Now it's the 27th. And I'm like, well, dang it. I want it to be that date, but I was like, you know what? Ain't nothing I'm gonna do is gonna make that thing happen faster. I'm just gonna have to, accept that that is the thing that needs to be. And
right.
just deal with it, you
Embrace
know.
it. It gives you a little while longer to prepare for a
Well, yeah, I was
new
thinking maybe I need the extra time to clean my house a little bit more.
get her little bed ready and what kind of snacks. I call them Scooby snacks. My dogs know those words, Scooby snacks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's my best advice. We have a new moon. Let's see, it's like the 25th of the 25th of this month is the new moon. And I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to. I'm really just fascinated by, on a global scale, all the
There's a
shifts
lot of
and changes.
things happening. Even in my corner, we had a little mini earthquake.
Oh,
It
you
was,
did?
yeah, 3.4 earthquake. It's kind of like northwest of where I'm at.
So, that's very Uranus, the earth moves, shaking.
Not only that, Mount Rainier had a little puffy cloud on top, and people thought that it was active, like, it was going off, but it was
Okay.
really just an ominous cloud that happened to be
There's
around
been
it.
a lot of those online. I mean, you never know how much of it is manipulated, but there's been
Right. I mean, I was looking at it, and I'm like, well, I don't know.
well, the new moon later this month is in Libra. So
Mhm.
that's going to again address courts and legal ramifications and relationships. That is the sign of Venus and love and balance. So, I just, I can only say what I have felt has worked for myself. And that is, whenever you start feeling anxiety about, you know, who, what, when, where, just remind yourself that, you're here in that particular moment and you're okay. And, even if you're maybe a little sickly, because I think these energy shifts can also make your body have symptoms, achy joints. You could have some swelling in your ankles. That's very Uranian. Pisces is feet. So, interesting thing about this full moon in Pisces representing feet and all of the other aspects to the planets also going on simultaneously is, what do you do when your feet are swollen or feet ache? Well, you sit down and prop them up. That's
Mhm.
a really good way to spend this energy, is,
Yeah, so don't try to do anything.
yeah,
We get it. You hear that, collective?
yeah.
Take a break. Don't
Take a break. You deserve a break today.
try not to work too hard. I mean, and that goes for me too. Like, there's stuff I want to happen, but I can't. So that's why I'm resorted back to my paper shredding machine.
Well, I think that's a really, I find just doing mindless things actually very calming and,
Mhm.
like it takes your busy bee mind out of its
I'm
off its
hoping to get them things out of here.
yeah, you will.
Like, I don't have space for it. Like, it's taken over. So I'm like, I gotta get rid of some papers. Like, I got stuff in there from early 2000s.
I think that's a great plan.
Yeah.
And yeah, the couch potato. It's couch potato weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then all month we have Mercury retrograde. There's like 6 planets retrograde.
This
So
is a weird one. I'm not gonna lie. Like, stuff from my past is coming up, and it's not the past that I was, I don't know, some
expecting.
random like past that.
Yeah, that, like what happened to me a few hours ago. It's like, and then earlier today, well, and starting yesterday too, this whole thing about car accidents and computer freezing or internet connection issues.
Mhm.
That's another reason why if you're trying to get something done electronically and having issues, just, put it on the back burner a couple of days. It's,
Not only that, make sure you write down your important emergency numbers through
yeah,
like a notebook and stuff. Like, don't rely on your electronic devices all the time because you never know. It might be one of those days and you're like, I can't call. Oh my God. Like,
right.
you don't have like power or something.
I had a friend who's waited all week for the cable company to visit. She's way out in the country and has connection issues anyway. But, he came and was like, well, it's not your internet, it's your computer. But then when she calls back into the company, they haven't closed the ticket. Like they're still working on it. So you might find a lot of really jumbled communication like that, being told one thing and then another thing's going on. And, it's easy to get exasperated by that. And so, whatever your favorite beverage is, just kick back, put your feet up, take a break for the weekend, and
Just go on
go
Groupon and
slow for the next couple of weeks, because these energies don't move quickly, and we really are in historic times. Whether you believe in astrology and how it affects mankind or not, the aspects in the heavens, none of us are old enough to have ever felt them the way they were 200 years ago. So that's new. And then a lot of the events occurring around the globe are new. And it's an interesting time. I would say take notes, stay in the present, and be grateful for right where you are. Uh,
Mhm.
People take for granted that, they can go
Sorry,
there.
my window's open.
I was going to say, there you go. There's some computers.
I know.
Oh, there the lights just flashed.
That was a car going down the street.
Okay.
Yeah, I live on like a decline, and if you have like a really fast car or a motorbike,
Yeah.
you go downhill, it's possibly like an adrenaline rush.
Oh,
And
right.
at the end of the road, we have an island. Like I live like literally near an island,
Right.
and it goes straight into the island, but you have to slow down because it kind of turns a little bit. So
Well,
yeah, it's a nice little drive downhill if you're
that's
adventurous.
a really good way to end our talk, is slow down.
Yeah, slow down. Yeah,
We
I
might
I
be an
hear.
island.
Well, yeah, it's a nice little island. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I lived where I had the view of the Olympic Mountains because I have to like kind of go like a mile away from where I'm at.
Yeah.
But once I'm there, you see like the mountain range and the water. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's a good image to meditate on. And no matter where you are, always remembering that vision.
I want my dog though. I want to take my dog to the park.
Yeah. She's coming.
It's gonna be cold, but I'll be
You
all
have to
right.
get her a little wardrobe. I can see all the little jackets and little fun things
Well, I
now.
want to take her to the pumpkin patch. That's
Yeah.
gonna be fun, and maybe dress her up and I have like a little backpack.
Oh,
So
right.
yeah, I was thinking about getting like a little sash.
I
You know,
have, they actually make them. They're like made for dogs, and they carry the dog on your front of your body,
yeah,
like
that's what
with
I
a
want.
shoulder strap.
Uh-huh.
And you don't really need to know the size too much, because they're put together with Velcro. So you can kind
Oh.
of, yeah. And that's one of my projects to create and put up online for sale. Or I have all of this material I want to make like pet bedding. And
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
honey.
have one of those harnesses from a long time ago. So I have a pattern for it. And
Mhm.
I just know I don't see those around like to buy in the store very much. And they're really convenient, especially for small dogs, or young dogs because it distributes the weight on your body. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
not,
Hmm.
and
Instead of
then,
like, tugging them on the neck. Like,
well, and they're something about their legs hang, and they really like that position. Like that's
hmm.
comfortable for their back and everything.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, I
Oh.
think I sent you the Frenchie wrestling, didn't I?
Yeah, I saw it this
Yeah,
morning.
yeah.
And then I think one of them, I don't know if it was Mojo, it was humping. Like, you're like, yeah, stop that.
Yeah, it's Leon, and then Mojo turns around and tries to climb on Leon's head. So they go at it like that, wrestling and running back and forth all day.
Oh, that's cute. I
They're
like
like,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm excited. Oh, I'm
Yeah,
gonna look
it's a good
forward.
time to be excited and try to take everything with a grain of salt that you see on the news or that anyone says to you. I think a lot of times it's just a test to George Carlin. It was a comedian that I loved, and he used to say, what it was that saying I sent to you? It was about if you think life is anything other than entertainment, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
I
Uh-huh.
love that. He does some great um, shows, one about stuff, and like what we do with all of our stuff.
I
So,
have I have my order, so I'm gonna be right back. You can keep everyone entertained. I want to show everyone my
oh,
notebook.
it's just come.
Yeah,
That's exciting. She
yeah.
thought it wasn't going to come until Tuesday. So, yes, Shabaka, George Carlin, he's just worth dialing up on YouTube and watching his old stuff anytime. He seems to me to be like far beyond this plane of time. And he had a wonderful way of bringing comedy to really serious issues in our society. So I like how he looks at it like that, we need to be entertained by what we're witnessing, um, and not take ourselves too seriously. It's where we get bogged down in the ego. And she's ripping it open.
I know, right?
So, how many decks did you get?
Oh no, this isn't the Dex. This is the notebook.
Oh,
So
okay.
this one, okay, I showed you the hardcover. This
Yes.
is actually the soft cover.
I love the sunflowers.
I know, I do too. Look at this, guys. Oh my god.
That's awesome.
I love it. And so this is one version. And where's the other one? Oh, here is the hard book.
Yeah. I love that pattern.
Thank you. I love it too. I like sunflowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted it like something like vintage or whatnot,
Yeah.
something kind of like, neutral, so to speak. So I was thinking about doing like really yellow sunflowers and having like a blue background, and I still might do it, but I
So,
figure,
looks like Chewbacca is bringing up, are we going to do cards this evening?
oh, um, let's see, we're at one. Yeah, sure, let's do that.
I think I know where the large ones are, sweetheart. Let me, I do. We're in luck. We have a chat room request.
The Lovers
Yours
Tarot.
This is very Neptunian, seductive and.
Let's see. Do I have a lovers? I have something more.
What do you have those ones that are racy?
I know.
That's very Neptunian. Neptune, we haven't talked a whole lot about the seductive side of Neptune, so maybe that's where the energy is taking us right now.
I'll do Casanova because I like this the best out of all of my racy cards. Maybe I like it because I am into Casanova style people. I don't know, but yeah, that was a thing in the past, guys. We're reliving our fantasies today.
You know what? Somebody can be Casanova, or what would be the female version of Casanova? Cleopatra? Or
Hmm.
who would be the female version of Casanova?
You mean like, in that time
Mae
frame?
West.
Ah,
um, let's see. Casanova. Oh, Lady Bouvier, right?
I
Lady
don't
Bouvier.
I don't
Wasn't
know much
she
about.
the temptress of Victorian time?
I don't know.
Do
Well,
you
was
have your new decks to be able to use? Your new
no, that was the one that might come on Tuesday.
Aphrodite might be the. So yeah,
So yeah, well, let's go back to Shabaka. Shabaka. Once my deck is here, I'm gonna either do a live or I'm gonna do a different video on that.
great.
I was hoping it was gonna come today, but it's not here yet. So I'm excited because this is a fancy tarot, like legit deck, and I am so excited when it comes, and I hope you guys really love it too. And then what I was thinking is for the ones who purchase my deck, and as I'm doing tarot, you can actually, do an interactive
Yeah,
situation and see what you pull and see if we're pulling like the same thing.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited, but yeah, not today, honey.
All right.
No,
Well,
Casanova was Renaissance, yeah. Um,
wasn't Lady Bouvier that same? Am I saying her name right? It doesn't. I don't think I'm saying it
how
right.
do you spell it?
Bovia.
Yeah, Bouvier. I don't know. Is that French? Because my French speaking people would know. Bouvier.
Bouvier. I know she was what old mountain people would call a rounder because she got around.
Bouvier. Yeah, that's where the bustier comes from, maybe. I don't know. Okay.
You know, they've come back.
Bouvier. Yeah,
That's
Bouvier.
a trend now. Is the corset bustier was in the 2023 fashion shows.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah,
did that thing come back?
it's come back.
Uh,
I don't think I will ever see one, but I did that a long time ago when I was little.
oh yeah, me too. Like back in my youth,
Yeah.
I was kind of like a heavy metal chick.
I don't
And
like to redo trends. I feel like,
no,
yeah, it's like once is enough.
you know what I liked? I liked the bell bottom pants.
Oh, yeah.
That
Now
one,
it just seems like anything goes when it comes to jeans, right? You've got everything, the
yeah.
mom jeans and the ripped ones and the patched ones and the straight leg and the bootleg and the bell bottom. Now, if they come back with the hip hugger bell bottom, that's the question.
Yeah, I think they made those.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Lady Marmalade. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. You love bell bottoms too,
Or
yeah.
how about Roxanne? Do y'all remember that Sting song?
Roxanne, yeah, I do.
Yeah. You don't have to put on your red light tonight.
I know, right? All right, so I
We'll
have
digress here into the seductive realm of Neptune.
yeah, so we are going to start off with Aries, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's
And
see.
what's our question? Our question is
What does Aries and the collective need to know of what should they be aware of under this full moon? Aries. I have 10 of swords in reverse.
temperance.
Okay. So, 10 of swords is like coming to terms with things of the past and learning to release and let go. And I feel that, maybe it's time to just get over it. No,
And this temperance would be about finding balance in your emotions, using your intuition to help you find that balance, being patient. Patience and balance for Aries. Aries with the square to Uranus, because Mars square to Uranus. Mars rules Aries. So this would be a temptation to argue and fight. And so this card would say, take a deep breath before you speak too quickly,
mm-hmm.
right? Maybe
Yeah.
even physically get near a body of water or a spa where you can get in a jacuzzi or a flotation tank, but do something that balances your emotions, Aries, because you're feeling hot-headed and compulsive.
Right. And just let it go. Whatever happened, it's the past. So just
Let it
let
go
it
and
go.
forgive.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So next we have Taurus.
Yes. We have Uranus and Taurus right now, which is uh,
Sorry.
historic, you know.
Uh, Somebody is hungry.
Wow. And married. Maybe that's somebody on their honeymoon.
Yeah, well, that is Taurus. Well, Taurus, I think that now you were saying that maybe Taurus is into um I can't even talk about it.
I think a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Right.
Now the
I think
Hierophant though
Taurus
would
likes to
say,
eat. That's what I was talking about.
and the Hierophant would say, "Be wise, soul. Be wise."
It's like, let me dominate you in the bedroom. I feel like Taurus is working in other ways, you know. I think Taurus is going to have a good time this weekend. Now, this is Seven of Pentacles, so that is putting in the effort.
Yeah, I think the Hierophant is sort of a sense of maturity too. You know,
Maybe for some of these Taurus, they're working on their partnerships. If
and
they're
taking
in,
things to another level in
yeah,
all ways.
well, it's looking pretty like a hot weekend for
Trying
Taurus.
something new.
I hear, baby, turn over so I can lick your booty. Like, what?
Yeah.
Next, no, I'm like, next is Gemini.
Let's see. Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules Gemini. So Geminis like to always be moving and quicksilver. And when Mercury goes retrograde, they might feel exasperation. But I got the sun.
Oh wow! So I have Three of Pentacles. So Gemini, okay, you like to work in multiple ways, from what I can see. According to this depiction, there's one person that Gemini seems to. I feel like Gemini, you have options. I don't know how else to put this, but I feel like you just got done with one person and now you're on to the next. I don't know why I'm getting this, but I don't know. I feel like Gemini, you might be going out this weekend, having a good time, but there's more than one person you're into.
And the sun is a very happy energy. And all those little souls down here at the bottom represent completing karmic cycles. So
Well, I don't know. Gemini looks like they're having a good time this weekend. Like,
yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
they're finished with karma and moving on.
I know, right? On to the next.
So my brother was a Gemini. He always used that expression next.
Next, yeah, that's what
Don't
it
get
looks
bored
like.
easily. Yeah.
Hey, don't work too hard, okay? Have fun. I think
Yeah.
Gemini took it to the next level. They're like, all right, let's do it. All right, next is Cancer. Okay, we have King of Wands here.
And the star.
Hmm.
Wow.
So,
Nice. That's hot sex.
yeah, Cancer, are you done with a fire sign? Because this person likes to watch. They like to see, and then they're going to lay it on you thick. Like your dreams may come true this weekend, right?
It was written in the stars.
Yeah, there's definitely a new beginning here, and it's going to feel secure. This is a nice little change. This is actually quite positive from what I can feel for Cancer. Interesting.
Yeah. Its promises fulfilled.
Yeah, your wishes are being fulfilled this weekend.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Dang. Well, this moon is
It's
something else.
intense. It's already been intense between car accidents, computers, and internet. And
Yeah, like fuck it. I just got in an accident. Well, let me make it better for you. Like,
yeah. Well, Cancer would like, nothing more than to stay at home in their fuzzy slippers and eat decadent food.
well, it looks like they're having company this weekend. It's gonna be hot too. So
What's
with
Leo
Leo,
doing?
dang, Leo, this is Page of Cups.
Oh, hey.
Lovers. Wow. I'm impressed.
Leo's very romantic.
Yes, and you might get an offer of love, like a confession.
And there might be a third party.
Well, maybe. But at least you're going to hear from someone. And it may start off small, but it could lead to something more.
Maybe Cupid's arrows is going to hit target in someone's heart.
Yes, it's like a start of a new.
We just hope it's not a compression bow.
Maybe Leo is going to something.
Balance. This can also, the lovers can always means balance within the self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe there's something that, I don't know, maybe you found out that you actually have feelings for a particular person. But there's definitely an opening of the heart space.
Yeah, Leo's all about the heart, and they're good at walling it up too.
Yeah, but there's like, I feel like, you're going to open up this week or this weekend. That's actually a really good thing. I like it. And you're going to get dressed up too for the occasion.
All right. We love the bling.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it's some public place. So I don't know, honey. Make sure you look good when you go out next time.
That's always hit or miss around here.
Hey, you never know. All right. Next, we have Virgo.
It's always when you're in crappy, dirty clothes that you run into somebody at the hardware store, right?
I know, right? Virgo, we have Queen of Cups. Wow. Interesting. So, I mean, this depiction.
Those cards make you blush.
I know. This you're gonna feel more vulnerable with your feelings. I really feel that there is like a new opportunity here in regards to working on a situation to stabilize. I feel like your emotions. That's what I feel. I feel like you're just more vulnerable. That's what I keep feeling with this one.
And justice might mean the conclusion of some legal matter or getting legal documents in order.
Mm-hmm.
Expanding some way or another.
I feel also with the Justice card that maybe Virgo, you're more true to yourself. Maybe you're like closed up in the past, and I really feel like you're being more balanced. Maybe you were too rigid, and you're actually being more
letting
vulnerable.
go of criticism, yeah.
Right, like you're letting loose.
Taking that sword and slashing the.
It's like, boop! I'll give you a little window. That's all you get.
That's actually kind of a big window there. It looks like multiple windows. I don't know, making me embarrassed too.
Sorry. Anyway.
Oh, you're fine.
All
We
right.
got to
Next is,
keep a sense of humor.
yeah, next is Libra.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Libra, we have here 3 of Cups.
Shoot. Well, let me shuffle some more because we've already had those cards. I keep pulling the same cards we've already had.
Oh, I pulled the ones I pulled off to the side so we don't get duplicates.
Oh, that's a good idea. So the Empress.
Oh, okay. So I really feel that with this 3 Cups energy, so there's options
That's
that you
really
have.
love. That's really, woof. That's a good, fuzzy, warm vibe and fertility and new beginnings.
So this is what I feel about this, okay? There's 2 people here. One person is giving you fellatio, okay? And you're sitting here holding on to someone that you really love. And I feel like you're going to have an opportunity to be with the person you love and not with the person who just does it. I'm just being for real, like
And this
there's
could
a
be
difference.
pregnancy.
There's
Yeah.
a difference where you're intimate with someone that you love or if you're just doing it. And the karmic is just doing it for you, but there is someone that I feel that you're going to connect with. This is your true love, okay? And you might get pregnant.
I
Just
was going to
saying.
say, I hope the wrong person doesn't get pregnant.
Right. Now, well, they're just doing that mouth action, so you can't get pregnant that way. Sorry.
I wasn't looking too close.
Okay.
It's a snapshot in time. I mean, there's a whole weekend ahead. There's much to explore.
I know this weekend is actually, hey, if you don't work and you get yourself out there looking good, smelling good, and you're doing yourself, you might, I don't know, have an opportunity with your person. Just saying. So next we have Scorpio.
The High Priestess.
All right, I
Mistress
have
of the Moon.
the World, but it came up in reverse.
I think
Scorpio, like, geez, y'all are okay. So there must be something that hasn't reached its cycle, and maybe you're getting like this intuitive hit.
I think this is also Scorpio ignoring their instincts and maybe going down a rabbit hole. They could be better served by not going down, like the world upside down, ignoring their instincts. The High Priestess.
Yeah, and it could be an illusion, right? Maybe you're ignoring the signs.
The High Priestess sometimes can represent the mother, so maybe some incident that's disruptive to the mother. I say that because my neighbor's mom is in hospice right now and like, anytime ready to pass. So,
There's a lot of that going on.
mm-hmm.
Just saying. Wow. So Scorpio, take the edge off, okay? Like, I don't know, get some sunshine. That's all I have to say about that.
That's a good idea. I was thinking Scorpio's getting in their dark corner and needs
That's what it seems like. It's like y'all in the closet, get out.
take some vitamin D.
I know. All right, next is
KM says Scorpio lacking sex.
I know how. Hey, girl, it's been 3 years, okay? It's been a long time. All right, so next we have Sag, and I have 6 of Pentacles.
And the Fool.
It came up in the reverse, but I'm going to put it right side up so that you guys can have a better visual. So Casanova is looking back at somebody they want to tap. It's just
walk off the cliff and take a chance.
Take a chance at that booty. You know what I mean? Like,
I was also seeing your card as someone, a Sag, investing a lot of money into something that didn't
Work out.
work out. Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
starting new. They're got all their worldly goods on their back and they're heading off on a new journey at the beginning.
They're like, yeah, you cost too much. Like, I'm off to a new thing, the next hotel.
I have a loyal dog at my feet.
Yeah, I mean, they're just this one does not it's like it looks nice, but I don't know.
Sag
I'm not
has a thing about wanting to be free too. So
right.
they feel like they've just outgrown their current situation and want a new beginning.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. So maybe Sag, maybe you need to look at your options, and not spread yourself too thin because that's what I feel like what's going on. So, anyways, next we have Capricorn. All right, we have 10 of Wands.
And the Chariot.
So, Cap, you need to let go.
Slow down.
Yeah, you got a lot of money there that is at stake. You're about to gamble this. I mean, this is like an adrenaline rush from what I can feel.
And things moving very quickly.
Yeah, people are watching you to see, like, are you gonna fuck up? Like there's a lot of burdens, like a lot. I think a lot of people are depending on you to make something happen. I think you're gonna go for it though. You're getting the balance that you need with the Chariot card,
Yeah.
and I would say the Ten of Wands it's a struggle, but you're gonna get through it.
Yeah. Quickly.
Yeah, so you got this.
You
Okay.
got this, cat.
Yeah, I'm
You're
feeling
going
it.
over that mountain. Maybe the workaholic needs to just detach this weekend and
Yeah, there's a lot of stress that is associated, but I think you're gonna get the cooperation from universe to pull you through. Okay, so just saying. All right, next we have Aquarius,
oh, she got the world.
and I have here Page of Swords.
So some kind of completion and thinking really hard about the resources. He's alone.
Yeah, and you might be like planning. Maybe this is a time to just take some ideas down about how you're going to work on something and be successful, have like a positive outcome.
Aquarius is known for detachment.
Yeah, well, he's sitting there walking on the street by himself. What is that one guy that he's like a murderer, a serial killer?
Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. But I thought that was a bad. Sorry, guys. I don't know. But yeah.
Aquarians are very much misunderstood because, just because they seem detached doesn't mean they don't have very deep feelings. I think this egg of completion and him walking alone might mean Aquarius is walking away or has ended a situation and it's complete and time to walk forward into the next adventure.
Got it. Just letting you know, I heard you cut out for a hot minute. I hear you now. Oh, you heard that? Oh, okay. All right. Well, we're at Pisces. Yay! Pisces. Huh. This is Queen of Swords.
This is the Neptune card.
Interesting. So you're gonna speak your truth that maybe you need time to chill out.
Maybe seduce yourself.
but you're still
Maybe
hiding
seduce
something.
yourself.
Yeah, because I see your legs are closed. You're not like that Queen of Cups, but maybe you're keeping to yourself this weekend with that Piscean energy. Interesting. Maybe you're in your head about the truth about a situation and you're standing firm on it. But I feel like you're exposing yourself in some way. I don't know. It's very hard energy that I'm picking on for Pisces here.
Having faith that everything is as it should be. Having faith that everything is as it should be.
But I feel like Pisces is closed off. At least I'm not seeing the bottle, That's a good thing. That's a good sign. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's what I have. You have any more to add to that?
I'm hearing my echo, so I'm going to be quiet. I'm hearing my echo, so I'm going to be quiet.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's because we're at our 2-hour mark. So, what else that we have? So, what is in the chat? Let me go back to the chat room. Massage time, Pisces. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My brother actually can massage very well. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome, No More Lies.
Thank you.
BRB, puppy needs to pee. Oh, yeah, I get that. Speaking of that, my breeder has potty trained Luna in a kitty litter box.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
And
No.
yeah, and she seems to be doing well. I'm excited. If she can potty train in a kitty litter, I am like all for that, because when I had my boy dog, he had problems. Like he was just all over the place. So yeah. But yeah, you can get this kitty litter, I believe, at the tractor store, the tractor company or something like that.
Yeah.
And you just need a little kitty litter box. And I seen her go a few times and she's doing well. So remember, I asked you to do her chart to see what's her temperament and things like that. And you're like, well, she's stubborn, and make sure she goes to the bathroom in the right places. So she's doing really well with that. So
that's great.
I'm kind of happy, at least from what I've seen. I won't know until she gets here. So, and then my son, he gave her a last name, and he called her Luna Lavender.
I love it.
Of Luna Moon.
I love it.
Which one do you like, Lavender or Moon?
Luna.
Yeah, Luna. Luna Lavender or Luna Moon?
Lavender.
Okay.
Luna Lavender. Luna is the moon.
Sounds like
Luna is the moon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wanted to have like Scorpio moon, Luna moon, that kind of thing. But Luna Lavender does sound nice.
I wasn't thinking. You're right. Luna moon. I wasn't thinking. You're right. Luna moon.
No, well, now you go with the first one. Remember your first choice.
Yeah, like kitty.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, like kitty.
Yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, that's what I have. So is there any questions that anyone have for Sunny before we go? And she might be limited to conversation, but speak now or forever hold your peace. And if you guys want to book a reading with her, you can go to linemountainhealing.com. And this is a really good time to get like your natal chart done, because there's a lot that's going on, and if you need a little bit of guidance to see, you know, what this energy is like, I would highly recommend it. So,
And we have the shop up and
so
going.
any questions?
The shop up and going.
Oh, yes. And so, yeah, if you guys are interested in Sunny's shop, let me see here. I think I had it. Uh,
KM, I think the
what?
next
No, not
live
that
is
one.
going to be the 23rd.
So, didn't we talk about like we're going to do it on a Sunday,
Oh, 20. Oh,
right?
okay. 25th. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
25th.
it was going to be on a Sunday. And so we're gonna do it on a Sunday rather than on a Friday.
That's the actual day. The new moon is Sunday the 25th.
The new moon is Sunday the 25th. Mm-hmm. And so I'm kind of excited for that, because that's the week where Luna gets to come home finally.
We can meet her.
So yes, I'm going to show her to everyone. And I'm not sure if she's a little barker, but when I was there, she wasn't. So echo. Oh, am I echoing?
I
Is
am.
that me?
I am.
Oh. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, I guess that's our cue. Um, Thank you all for watching, and Sunny appreciates you, each and every one of you. And thank you, Sunny, for always doing these lives with me. Your knowledge is invaluable, and
Great
I
time.
always enjoy having you here on my channel. And until next time, everyone, relax this weekend, have fun. Okay, dress up, or just do something nice for yourself. Don't stress, don't work too hard. You're going to be spinning your wheels. Just might as well let it go. Watch something and just relax, okay? What, Shabaka? You had a question? Okay. Oh, okay, honey. What is your question?
I was
This
thinking
is a
about
great time for me because I'm on the
it's
other side of the world.
the Roman and the Asian calendars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's see.
We love Sunny too. Sunny.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Yes. We love Sunny.
Where is that question?
So Shabaka, I'm waiting on your question.
It's up here.
I'm waiting on her. She's on.
It's up here. What do you at 10:10?
Where is it?
What do?
Can you pin comments on your side?
Oh.
When is the next live? Oh, Roman calendar have different times as Asians. Okay, well, honey, I don't know the answer to that question, but I do know that we have a Korean Thanksgiving coming up soon. I'm not exactly sure the day, but you know how the Americans have Thanksgiving, and I know Canadians have theirs like a week before we do, or something like that. That's what I'm seeing. Let's see. How do you keep up astrology? I think. Yeah, go ahead.
You have also the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar. So that starts back
Okay.
in Vatican.
Julian.
In Rome.
Oh, interesting.
And this is what may come to light. Is the manipulation of how we've kept track of time.
Thanksgiving's in Canada is October. Oh, so it's next month for you guys. Okay. Thank you for that, honey. You would know better than we do. That's
Right
really
now, I don't know that I know
interesting.
anything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there any other questions that you have? Sorry, honey. I don't know all the answers, but I try my best. Thank you for the answer. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, any other questions, guys? If we can answer them, I'm not sure. I can't guarantee. Do is something that I kind of funny, odd. Yeah, we do too. Thank you, ladies. Have a great evening. Thank you, KM. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep you in mind. She's in Australian time, so yeah, we'll figure it out on Sunday because we're both free that day. So we'll try to make it easy for everyone to come on.
Globally compliant.
So, but I hope that
Globally compliant.
yeah. So okay, get a back massager, ladies. Oh, I have one. I have that Theracane that I shared with you the last time. I need a real massager. I need a masseuse. I haven't gotten a massage in a few months ever since I left for my vacation, actually. I could use a massage. But I have a yard sale tomorrow, so I'm gonna do that. So
A lot of
okay.
work.
Well, I'm gonna let you guys
A
go.
lot of work.
Yeah, it is. That's what I gotta do tonight. I gotta put price tags on some of the stuff. So
Best of luck.
we are talking electric. Yeah.
We are
We are talking
inappropriate.
inappropriate use
We
of
are talking inappropriate. I was going to say, I'm not showing my
Got it.
massager. I was going to say, I'm not showing my massager.
not that one, honey. Y'all are nasty. Y'all talking about this? Just saying. No.
Bad, bad, bad.
I had a man that was built this big. No kidding. He was kind of huge, like a sausage. And then he was built like a horse. And he couldn't be fully like up. He have to like, just a little bit. I know that's TMI, but the bigger guys, they can't be fully or they're gonna hurt their person. Just saying. Anyway, but that's been a long time. I don't know anymore. I'm a virgin. It's been a while, guys. I don't know. Shane Diesel? Who?
What
I
is
didn't
that?
look him up. Who is he?
What is that?
Apparently, a man built like a horse. Anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. It's Friday, guys. I need to get dinner prepared, and it's 7:17, which is a fun number. These are problems I like to have. I hear you, Kara. I wish I had that problem. Now that could be my Neptunian imagination that I might be entertaining this weekend.
Seduction.
He was like, "Ooh, baby."
I can't even.
This out.
I can't even.
I seen a little chihuahua, right? And it was trying to mount this little baby dog. And then the chihuahua was doing, right? And then it passed over and it fell out. It was the funniest thing. And it was like some Hispanic guys watching it and they were like, like recording the video. And it was hilarious, guys. I didn't know what they were saying, but it was like, oh, look at that, and then it was like, and then it was like,
This is so Neptunian.
and then the girl dog turned around. Yeah, the girl dog turned around and was like, what happened? Like, and then she had to walk away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the heck? They were Anyway,
I'm speechless.
all
I'm
right,
speechless.
yeah. Type the name into the web browser. Oh, okay. Let's see. Um, let me look at his name.
Is he a porn star? Is he a porn star?
His name didn't come up. Oh yeah, honey, I'm not going on there. I don't want no dang virus. My shit's clean. Sorry. I got it, honey. I got it. I need him to stay conscious. Gonna stick to manifesting reasonable size, I guess. Hey, average is nice, and even below average is good too. I'm not trying to be personal, but the ones who don't can make up for what they don't have. Just saying. He's a superstar. Well, apparently I don't know about this one. That must be how long it's been since I've been looking that way. I don't look at all, I guess. But anyways. All right, guys. I'm going to have to let you guys go. I have to think about dinner. So, everyone, have a beautiful weekend.
Yes.
If my cards come in sooner
Yes.
this weekend, I'll be on the weekend. But if not, I'll see you guys on Monday. All right. So thank you all for watching, and thank you, Sunny, again for being here. And have a blessed weekend and a happy full moon.
See you later.
Bye bye.
See you later.
All right. Bye.